Ant, what's up, bud? Hey, had a little revelation today. I know we've been talking about sprinters out of the blocks and how that different that is than actually stealing a base in baseball because we have to be in a little different position. However, I was looking for film of guys that, your top 10 base stealers in the league, and one of the videos we'll look at is Emilio Bonifacio, and he is not only good at stealing a lot of bags during the year, but he's also, his attempts versus the actual steals he gets is really high. The percentage that he actually steals a base is pretty high. So the other thing that I wanted to look at with these guys too, because I've played with guys that are super fast, but their running mechanics are absolutely horrible. They just have been gifted with just good tendon connective tissue system, and able to be very, very springy, much like a kangaroo or a gazelle. So I wanted to look at that too. So I looked at quite a few guys, and it kept coming back with the same result. And I know we talk about the false step, and most people, and I learned back in the day, that the false step isn't good, and we've been talking about that at length. And in this video, we actually don't do false step. I'm going to reverse that today. When we look at Bonifacio, and even look at Andrew McCutcheon and some of these other guys that are really, really fast, really efficient at getting to second, they actually use the false step as almost, you can see with this video, it's not frame by frame like your video here. We can see pretty much frame by frame your running technique. It's kind of choppy, but you will see within a couple frames, you'll see him almost look like he's in the block, not down, but once a sprint comes out of the block and gets that spine angle up, you'll almost see that, and getting their upper body way over their legs so that they can get that momentum, work that momentum. So let's take a look at your video real quick, and what we were trying to do, we were doing, but we're actually going to go back on that after looking at video from Emilio. So we were trying to work on crossing over and not picking that front foot up, not false stepping. So we did a pretty good job of that. But what's happening, look at your left arm, is it's not knowing what to do. It's just kind of dropping, and then it comes back up. So I think our timing, we're disrupting that natural flow of timing when we get out of this sprint, out of this athletic position, and that back arm is doing what it needs to do. Instead of focusing on the left arm or the back arm, we're going to focus on dropping that front foot back and getting that back elbow back as quick as we can. So we're going to focus more on the front side versus the back side. We might even switch up your arm position here. But as you'll see with Emilio, you can see you naturally, in most of the video progressions we've done, you naturally want to throw that front arm back and then bring that back arm forward. And we're kind of going against the grain there. Good sign of a good coach is that you're willing to make an adjustment and say that you're wrong. And in this instance, I am definitely wrong, especially after looking at video. We want to base our approach on video versus on what we think we see, or hanging on to old dogmas that you've been taught as a kid and think that they're right. You always want to question that. So here's Emilio Bonifacio, how do you say his name? So he's leading off on second. He's with the Marlins here. I think he just traded to the Blue Jays, which are going to be pretty stacked this year. But here's what you're going to see. So like I said, it's a little choppy. It's not frame by frame like your video, but look at that front foot. Watch Emilio's first move. See his front arm and his front foot pick up. See that? And so what he'll do is he'll drop that foot back. See that? And drops his hand back. So he's fighting to get out over his legs, out over his feet. You can see that it slides back, and his front arm pushes back. Okay? And then from there, so it's not really the push off of that back leg, because that back leg is actually pretty far away from his pelvis. That's going to be a hard push. It looks like that he's sliding that foot back and pushing with that leg, because what's happening is his back arm has to come forward and it has to come back before that back leg comes through. So that's what I'm saying. I think he's using that front leg more than he's using the back leg, kind of like hitting. So with basic biomechanics with sprinting, that elbow has to go back. The side of the leg that has to come forward, that same side arm or elbow has to go back. So like I said, he's fighting to get that front arm behind him, because look what leg is forward. It's his right leg, so his right arm has to go back and his other arm has to come forward until we get into this position. So now you see his left arm going back because it's bringing that left knee forward, but that's not out of the gate. See what I'm saying? ¿Entiendes? So we're going to work on this Saturday, and you can work on it if you got some time before then, but work on getting a little bit more of a, you're going to pick that front foot up, slide it back like you were doing before, and really work on, with your arm swing, work on pulling with your front arm, getting that elbow to go back as quick as you can, like that hammering that nail behind us. So almost doing the reverse of what we were working on before. Alright, brother, if you got any questions, let me know, but I will see you on Saturday.